my previous videos focusing on American cults, we are moving to a different continent for this video. We're heading to Asia. Just imagine waking up ready for a work or school day, but realising you've woken up late. You've rushed to get ready and don't have time to walk today. You need to run onto the underground. You've barely made it through the doors of the carriage, but then you start to feel a stinging in your eyes. You start to have a tickle in your throat. Then you stop coughing, choking even. But you can't see anything. Everything is black. And now you can't move. This was the real experience of hundreds of passengers in Japan in 1995. But let's rewind the clock to figure out what happened that disastrous morning. One of the most notorious Asian cults with Aum Shinrikyo. The name itself means supreme truth, and as you can imagine, it was a highly spiritual movement. Starting in the 1980s, they focused their beliefs around Hinduism and Buddhism. The group's founder, Shoko Asahara, declared that he was both Christ and the first enlightened one since Buddha. As you can imagine, this claim would gain him lots of recognition in Japan, but his name also went worldwide. The cult gained official status as a religious organisation in Japan in 1989, and their popularity just skyrocketed. Being the world's next messiah, Asahara would speak at universities, speak on TV, and write books, and at his peak have tens of thousands of followers and members worldwide. A common trend, which you may have noticed from my previous videos, is that a lot of these cults feed off people's fears to build their following, and Aum Shinrikyo was no different. They stated that humanity would end. Conveniently, the only way to avoid this end would be to join Aum. What an unbelievable opportunity! Thus, they made it their mission to try and recruit as many people as possible to avoid this destruction. Highlighting the troubled relationship between the East and the West at the time, Aum stated that not only would Armageddon occur in 1997, but referred to the United States as the Beast and stated that it would attack Japan. His prophecy outlined a Third World War that would be instigated by the US. Something which Aum was extremely good at was their press and media capabilities. They published comics, animated cartoons, and tied their core religious beliefs into popular anime and manga. These topics included space missions, powerful weapons, world conspiracies, and the quest for ultimate truth. Their impressive recruitment efforts resulted in Aum becoming one of the fastest growing religious groups in Japan's history. The Aum Salvation Plan consisted of claiming to cure physical illnesses and general health problems. This would be reached with ancient teachings translated from the original Pali Sutras. The majority of Asahara's followers in Japan were students at elite universities. Pressured from their families, society, and thoughts of their future careers, they turned to Aum as they promised them a more meaningful life.
若者たちはもう小さい時から豊かですから、でその豊かさのその裏側にある空虚さというもの、これをやはり小さい時から認識してますので、そうなると当然その物質社会以外のいやそれ以上のものをやはり求めようとする。
The cult, however, became more paranoid, more bold, more deadly. Former cult members have even testified that they were paid well for rituals involving Asahara's hair and bathwater, despite the cult's foundation focusing on rejecting materialism. One of these former members described paying more than £6,115 in 1998 for a blood initiation where he drank what was said to be the leader's blood. The cult became increasingly violent, and that led to the unfortunate event in 1995. Aum left 5 packages on the underground that slowly leaked out liquid and nerve agents. Thousands of people were on the underground at that time. Passengers felt stinging fumes hitting their eyes, striking them down in a matter of seconds. They were left choking and vomiting, some blinded, some paralysed. 13 people died in the event, and at least 5,800 were injured in 5 coordinated attacks on 3 different train lines. Sarin was the nerve agent used in the attack, and it was developed by the Nazis. This was the largest domestic terror attack ever carried out on Japanese soil. Over the next week, the full scale of Aum's activities was revealed for the first time. At the cult's headquarters, police found various explosive, chemical weapons, and a military helicopter. There was enough equipment to kill over 4 million people. They also found laboratories to manufacture various drugs like LSD and methamphetamine. They also found a safe containing millions of US dollars in cash and gold. Not only this, but they found prison cells, still containing prisoners. Over the next couple of weeks, over 150 cult members were arrested for a variety of offences. Even still, 2 months later, a burning paper bag was discovered in a toilet in another underground station. Within the bag was hydrogen cyanide, enough to kill 10,000 commuters. Luckily, the device was extinguished in time. More undetonated devices would be discovered over the next couple of months. Asahara was finally found hiding within a wall of a cult building and was arrested on the 16th of May. On the exact same day, the cult mailed a bomb to the governor of Tokyo, blowing off the fingers of his secretary's hand. Asahara was initially charged with 23 counts of murder and 16 other offences. The trial was dubbed the Trial of the Century by the Japanese press. Asahara was sentenced to death after being ruled guilty of masterminding the attack. But he was not the only one. 12 Aum members were also sentenced to death over the attack. The last to be tried in connection with the subway attack was Katsura Takahashi. He was on the run for 17 years but was finally arrested in 2012 and sentenced to life in prison. So what now? After the Tokyo attack, the cult went underground and named itself to Aleph. One of Aum's former spokesmen formed their own cult called Hikari no Wa, or Circle of Rainbow Light. It stands for the same principles but have distanced themselves from the worship of Asahara. Both cults, Aleph and Hikari no Wa, are still legal in Japan, but are recognised as dangerous religions. The estimated range of members is around 1,500 to 1,600 between the two cults. The group was not only big in Japan, but also in the former Soviet states after the collapse of the USSR. In March 2016, Montenegro expelled 58 foreigners suspected of association with Aum Shinrikyo. 4 were from Japan, but 43 were from Russia, 7 from Belarus, 3 from Ukraine, and 1 from Uzbekistan. Russian raids that took place in April 2016 targeted 25 Russian properties. The group is illegal in Russia, but prosecutors have said at the time there could have been up to 30,000 followers of Aum living in Russia. So that's the story of the deadliest cult in Japan. What cult should I speak about next? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching and subscribe for more.